I don't even know what day it is, day 5, 4 or 5, whatever. But this was an opportunity for us to play some live ball today. And, that's what we have to do. We didn't do it last camp, to be honest with you. And, we get nervous at times like we're going to go live, but there's a little bit of difference between what we do every single day and going live, other than kind of the pressure, more things that happen in space that guys have to be able to see if they can make some plays. So we challenged ourselves today a little bit going live. But, there's probably 75 snaps of live ball today, and it'll bode well for us in the long run. But there's a lot of things we gotta see. It's our first actual situational football too, and you see the older guys that understand and can handle some things and react and respond. But you also see some of the youth and some of the younger guys and how things are handled. But when you actually play like this, you do get to see how the momentum affects the game, and or at least the practice. And I think it was pretty obvious to see how the momentum shifted and how there wasn't a way for it shifted to the offensive side of the ball. And the thing we'll get on the defense most about is finding a way to be able to shift it back. And that's probably what we didn't do defensively right there to end practice. But a lot of credit to the offense. So it's always going to be a winner. There's always going to be someone that doesn't win. And that's the kind of the nature of the game every day here. And as long as we understand that and we can compete, we'll be able to come out tomorrow and see if defensively or whatever can shift that thing and continue to grow.
We kind of overruled some officials' calls. That'd be nice to do.
Well, yeah, it's usually only to either keep the thing going, and we were struggling a little bit beginning offensively, and so finally make a play or something, they throw a penalty, and you're trying to manufacture things to make it a little bit more difficult, see if guys complain, because they're human too, and sometimes they make mistakes, and sometimes when it's the practice, we got a chance to show them and overcome their mistakes. Or really just find a way to, kind of put the pressure on the other side and see if they can handle both the players and the coaches. Because sometimes the coaches, feel like, well, hold on, the ball's supposed to go back. It's supposed to be 3rd and 15 now, and it's first down, and they have to be able to, adjust and adapt on the fly too.
What's just putting on of pads going to make it clear what Tyree brings to the table?
Yeah, I think there's a definite difference, and it's hard to see those things unless you can go some live, even full pads. And when you're going thud, you never really know, right? And so when you have opportunities to go like this, you can see some things. Yes, from him. You saw some things from the young backs as well. And don't get me wrong. You see some things from the back end of things as well. Say who's willing and who can, and who can stop some charges. And that's what we got to find out about ourselves, because we all are a work in progress, coaches and players. And when we recognize the things we got to do a lot better job of, the next step is being able to address those.
What's your assessment of where things stand with Tyler and Braden, and what you need to see for one of them to?
You know what? I'm just going to hold it. I mean, I think I've said it. We want to get something into place sooner rather than later, just because I think the continuity of everything is really important. But we'll probably go through at least the next few days before we jump to any conclusions and start kind of shifting the thing. The thing I wanted to do today is make sure they got similar amount of number of reps. And the good thing offensively is as much as you're rolling, even the wideouts, it's not like there's a big difference, of what they're going with. In the spring sometimes, we had a really young offensive line with the twos, and it's hard to evaluate and give you some good looks. So at least we've got a really good situation where both of them, no matter whether with the ones or the twos, there's a lot of guys that are mixed.
Luke, you mentioned the young backs. We've seen what Darian can do on the field physically, but how has he done picking up the offense, and how can you guys add more to this play as camp goes on?
We'll see. I mean, I don't sit in that room that often, so it's kind of hard for me sometimes to tell. But from what I see on the field, it transitions pretty well. It doesn't seem to slow him down, both Darian or Dylan. But what they truly know, when as a coach, you know what you can get confidence in. But so those are things like these situations. It's really valuable for us to put them out there and find out. I mean, they're getting some reps with the twos. There's been a few times they've been in there with the ones too, just because of the nature of having some two backs in there. So they're definitely getting thrown in the mix, and they're getting an opportunity to show what they do understand, what they don't understand, and can they play through it.
Coach, do you have a mindset of various opponents?
No. We're battling with ourselves right now every single day. I mean, you can see it right there. If we're worried about somebody else, when we can't handle the ups and downs and a little bit of the emotions as the momentum shifted in a scrimmage situation, then we'd be putting the cart before the horse to worry about somebody else. So that's why we're out here to do our best job of focusing on ourselves and at some point in time when we go back to campus, there'll definitely be a bit of a shift to making sure we have some focus on the things that we have, in particular in front of us in the first 4 weeks.
Luke Amari is a guy that you've had a relationship for a long time now. Just where have you seen his development from the end of last season, maybe through the spring now?
Sometimes that position is hard to evaluate, right? How many opportunities they get. They're in there, they do a good job. Does the ball really go to them? Do they have an opportunity to make a play? Do they make the play? It's just sometimes at the corner spot, they're few and far between. But when they are, they're big plays. It's not hard for every one of you or us or even my own 9-year-olds that are here can tell when that guy makes a play or doesn't make a play. And Amari made a play today, a big play. And so to me, more than anything, what I see is a confidence level in him that is continuing to grow and is going to vote well for all of us. When those opportunities come, you got to be ready because they don't always come a lot. There's not a lot of them, whether you're in there or not. There's just not a lot of opportunities, so you got to take advantage of them.
What do you think Jackson Aker can give you from the various roles that he can?
It's going to be interesting. I think that the hardest thing on Jack right now is, there's a lot of things he can do. And I think as we get back to campus and some of that idea of, okay, how are you, looking more ahead of, what you've got, whether it's the first 4 weeks and the whole season, we'll start to figure a little bit better of his role, how big it is, what position it is. But out here, it's hard because you really just focus on yourself. So assessing a lot. I know he's an older guy, but assessing a lot of the things he does really well. And for the first 12 days for us, it's really important to figure out what he really does well. So we're not asking him, he's got a lot of versatility, ask him to do things that doesn't give him an opportunity to play as well as he'd like to play and as well as we'd like him to play.
When it comes to someone like Aaron Witt, any update about what's ailing him?
No, we've got a few of those now. I mean, today was a day that before we even started the live situations, we had a few guys that were out, and more pulled hammies, more pulled groins, things that happen in camp. But like I said, I'm not giving them an excuse. I mean, guys got to take care of themselves. It's easy just to say, well, it happens, but no, guys got to find a way. We got to find a way to make sure that we can take care of those soft tissue things, because they got to be out there in order to, for us to gain confidence, for them to gain confidence. But he's a guy that'll miss a while. I don't know how long, whether it's 7 to 10 days, but we'll have him back.
Do you have any concerns with some of those being long-term injuries?
No, I don't. I mean, we'll assess them. But I have more concern with, especially younger guys or guys like him that miss a lot of time that are going to be okay in 10, 12 days. I mean, these 10, 12 days, we're finding out a lot more about ourselves and how we do things than just to say we're comfortable with that guy being back, So that is probably the bigger issue. I don't worry about them. I just worry about, how do they fit? How do they, add value to what they're doing and what we're doing if they're not out there, whether they're young or old. So that's what's more difficult, and not to get onto the future of football, but will be even more difficult, as sometimes if it looks like rosters may get smaller, it'll be really important for us as coaches, to be able to adjust and adapt how we probably even practice.
I know it's still early.
Oh, such a polite thing. That's right. Didn't get a chance to ask you about Casey's new role, and I just was curious, what do you like about the combination of him and Blazek?
Well, there's the key. I'm not a big guy to just throw out titles. We're not big at just hiring as many guys since it's unlimited. To me, it's more about the fit, and to have him be able to fit as well. Look, he's a Wisconsin guy through and through, but he's also a really smart, really intelligent guy that's played the game a lot. And sometimes that's the trickiest thing, and it's got to work well for both sides, meaning the program as well as Casey. And what I'm happy about is those two guys, him and Blazek, get along, have a lot of the same opinions and philosophies, and work really, really well together. So in return, it's great for Casey, but it's even better for our guys and our players and our program. And we're fortunate to be able not just to have him, but that he fits so well that he represents this program and the history of this program better than anybody else.
I know it's early, but with Eric Reisbeck joining the special teams role, what does he bring? Is it more of kind of an outside opinion? Because you and Matt obviously have a lot to do on your plates. Like, what do you kind of view as his role and how he kind of contributes?
Well, he does bring some difference. Obviously done some different things at different places, and his knowledge of the Big Ten is good too. But that's a position where, to be honest with you, it's hard on Matt Mitchell, right? I mean, he's got the outside linebackers, and our outside linebackers have a lot on their plate, and that was difficult last year. Not to say we shortchanged it, because I spent a lot of time with the special teams, But it's definitely unique and different to have somebody that's with those kickers and those specialists on a consistent basis, but is always kind of studying the game, looking ahead, giving you ideas, not worried about getting vetoed with ideas is really important in that role, and he's done a great job.
What does Tyrell Henry have to do to continue to move up in a pretty loaded room?
Move up where? He's pretty up there. I think today I looked over and said I don't need to see any more of him. So I don't know if it's as much of earning more reps. It's almost like earning less reps in some situations. He's done a great job. The issues we had there last year were just the numbers that really made it very difficult as we got into the season. We're different now. He provides something different. Ches obviously provides something different, and those young guys, along with the Akama, there's a much larger group. We can be smarter as we finish these 12 days out here, but it's all about building confidence, their confidence in themselves, and everybody's confidence in them as well. So he's in a great place.
One more here for Coach Fick.
Luke, with Sophie and her team, she's telling me yesterday about how they have snacks everywhere and trying to keep the carbs up and just trying to keep energy and whatnot. Just how vital is what she's doing with snacks and keeping?
It's going to be more and more vital as we continue to push through, because we're not letting up, we're not backing off. So it falls onto her and her team's plate, but also to our guys. And the great thing for our guys is that's why I'm hard on them about when things happen, if they pull a hammy or something, because there's everything that possibly could want and have for them. There's somebody there to do whatever it is they need to do and will do. Sophie and her team do that. Whether it's 5:30 in the morning, whether it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, still, leaving the snacks and things out there. We've got an opportunity to have everything we possibly need. We just got to take advantage of it, and that's why it's important to have really good people. It's more about the type of people that are willing to do the things that nobody really talks about. It's important to us. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Coach. Appreciate it.